welcome everybody. We're here to talk about something that's in front of the camera that's not normally there, and that would be this guy right here, one of my light stands. In fact, it's one of my new light stands. I'm in the process of setting up a new studio inside a new house, and for that, I wanted to build some new light stands because before, they were in a spot that were basically terrifyingly blinding. They were actually right to the side of either the camera, and they were right about here from my face. It was quite painful. So I want to build something that's a little bit more mobile. In theory, is sort of adjustable, but still give me plenty of light, and this is the solution I came up with. So I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield, and let's do a build of this mobile light stand right here. So the key part of this whole setup, other than of course of the actual stand itself, is this little 3D printed adapter. Now it hooks into the 1/4 inch screw that goes into your standard tripod adapter that comes with these lights, and it's designed to fit a, let's see here, 1 1/4 inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe, and all it really does is it just drops right in there. There's nothing securing it in there, so you can remove it if you need to change the light or get the light off there or whatever it may be. It works pretty well. I'll put a link to this STL file in the description of this video, so you can find that there if you wanted to print this out on your own. And if you do it right, you can print it without supports. Alright, enough of that. Let's get to the build process of the stand itself. Well, the first step, as things usually are, is to make sure you weren't stupid and you bought the right parts. So before we get too far into the assembly process, I've got all the different pieces here, and I wasn't really sure which one of these I need. But, you know, like I said, it's a collection of PVC parts. Let's test fit everything, make sure the stand goes together without putting a light on it. Don't want to do that yet. Before you glue anything together, before you start drilling, all that fun stuff. Everything's looking pretty good. I got the right parts. Everything's kind of going where it needs to be. Let's get this thing attached to the base, get the wheels on before we do the final assembly. So this piece right here is going to be the base of the light stand, and this is a bit of a 1x10 that's left over from the Cosplay rack build. I'll put a link to that in the show notes in case you're curious, just because it used the same components. But I need to figure out where I want this to go. This is the PVC piece that holds the entire stand in place, and then mark spots for each of the 4 Castor wheels. The exact spot of the wheels doesn't really matter. Just know they're 3/8 inch diameter screws that hold them in place. So don't put them super close to the corners, maybe about 1 inch in. Very gently, just gonna mark a spot in the wood for each of the holes. And yes, I am using a screw for this. I don't actually have any large nails. I just have brad nails. This helpful little stand right here, of course, this is my Jigsaw Stand. Find a link for that video in the show notes as well. Step 1 is to drill the holes for the PVC pipe stand. Using a Phillips head screwdriver for some reason. Real woodworkers use T25s. I said that somehow makes me a real woodworker. And a bunch of bull crap. Now we work on the holes for the Castor wheels. What happened there? So that somehow is going to do anything except break the wood and then really leave me up a creek on that paddle. Oh, sweet mercy. There is a downside to having a gigantic hole in your table. It may be useful a lot of times, but putting stuff on it is not one of them. Fortunately, that's a cheap hammer and not an expensive power tool. That works good enough, I suppose. Now it's time to actually assemble the light stand and glue all the PVC parts together. Of course, PVC glue is one of those brain damage, brain death kind of things. Lisa said so in the bottle. So go to a nice ventilated area before you try to apply it. One thing of note is you do want to make sure you work pretty fast with this glue. You can dry really quickly, and you want to make sure the stand is relatively straight once all the pieces are assembled. Hopefully you're not Bob Rossing things and trying to build this along with me as I do this step by step, because I didn't tell you something very important a minute ago, which was don't glue on the top piece. We're going to use this to make a bit of an adjustable stand, because obviously this fits over the thing and slides down. We're going to be able to use that, like I said, to adjust the height of the light and give it some flexibility if you need to. I'm going to place the light tube where about I want it. Just make sure you have enough room at the top to fit the 3D printed piece. I'm going to put a clamp underneath it so that the PVC pipe is being supported by the clamp. And then very carefully, I'm going to drill a hole through this PVC pipe and all the way through to where I can stick a bolt to support it. Now repeat this process maybe 2 or 3 more times. Raise the PVC pipe up, clamp it in place, drill another hole. Also keep the thing you're trying to film in camera view too. That's a bonus video pro fact there. Bonus video pro tip. Ah, geez. Nope, that's the wrong button to press. Second bonus video pro tip, don't press the record button when you're walking away from the camera. Press the off button. Now we're just about done here. Here's one of the LED light panels. It's a Generac ESDS75. When I bought these, it was $250 for a kit, which is a light panel, 2 batteries, and some crappy chargers, and they're very crappy. Let me just put this guy up here. And now, a few things to note. One, the stand is a little tipsy, but I'll deal with that in just a bit. But first, when it comes to dealing with the power cable, let me plug this guy in. This freaking pile of, I should have done this before I filmed, son of a... Alright, there we go. Let's plug the power cable in here. And it really hangs down pretty darn... What the hell? Output 12 volts, 7.5 amps. Wait a minute. This isn't the right power adapter. I wonder what it's for. I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Here's the real video adapter, or power adapter, you know what I mean. And you can see it's much longer and still tangled up, even though I untangled it upstairs. So what I'm going to do to basically avoid decapitations, I'm just going to wrap this power cable around the stand to keep that in place and secure the power brick to the bottom of the stand as well. To solve the problem of the whole thing tipping over and falling on itself, because the light is kind of relatively heavy to the size of the base and the weight of the base, when I get them in place, oh my goodness, a lot of bases rhyming, bad rhyming, I'm going to be using one of these things. It's a sandbag. Except this time I couldn't find sand at the local home improvement store here in January in Michigan, so I've got pea gravel. This should work. It's dirty as heck, but it'll work. Now we get to play the game is how much crap can I get in this bag and how much will get spilled in the ground in the process. Just give up. Oh, it started out so good. Well, now that the light stand is done, actually both of them are done. This is the second one I built. I did actually build one ahead of time to figure this all out. And it worked the first time. Wasn't really necessary. Anyway, now these guys are done, and I just got to get my desk rebuilt. You know that one that I always complained about, the crappy one? I got to get a new top on it. I'm going to make probably a really nice custom-made hardwood top for it that's better than the MDF fake lamination thing, whatever. You know, if you watched the show before, at some point you'll see me complain about that desk. But regardless, once those two things are done, well, this is done. Once that is done, I can finally get back up to the studio, do some of those miniature painting, those kind of videos, and hopefully that will be pretty shortly. So thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield, And now it's time to answer the most important question of the video. Did I ever pick up that hammer I dropped way back when I was drilling things? I just did. Thank you guys all for watching. Have a great week.